Hi everyone, in this video we're going to be talking about how Photoshop now is going to be part of a subscription only based kind of thing where you're going to have to pay for it on a monthly contract and yet you never get to own it. And to make this a bit more fun, I'm going to do it in the style of Vsauce. Any of you geeks out there that watch Vsauce on YouTube, you'll understand. So what's actually happening is that Adobe Photoshop, the future generations of it, are going to be on part of the Adobe Creative Cloud, which is effectively a cloud somewhere which holds a whole pile of different softwares. What you can do in the UK, you can get subscriptions for Photoshop on its own, which if you buy an annual plan, and you get it, and you pay for it monthly, it works out, I think it's £17.98 per month. That's just for Photoshop. If you're getting the subscription for the whole Creative Cloud, which will include Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Dreamweaver, After Effects, Adobe Premiere Pro, handy, and Adobe Muse? Okay, those things. Then that costs £46.88 per month, and you've got to take that for a full year's contract. Now the cool thing is, £50 per month is pretty darn cheap in comparison to buying the individual software separately. Adobe Photoshop on its own, to buy it as the raw disc and not pirate it, that is around about £600 in the UK. And if you want to get Adobe Lightroom, which is what pretty much photographers only use these days, then that is around about £140 or £200. I think they've brought it down for the latest generations. So if you just want to do the photography stuff and you don't care about InDesign and Illustrator and video stuff, then buying the software on its own, Photoshop and Lightroom, you're going to be looking around about an £800 investment. Ouch. If you are buying the Photoshop only part of the Creative Cloud, well then under £20 a month, it's going to take a long time until you get anywhere near that amount of money. At the moment there's no plans of putting Adobe Lightroom as a subscription only basis. However, if you do get the Photoshop or at least the Creative Cloud subscription, Lightroom is already added into that, so you do have all that software. Now the next thing is, because it's an online subscription Creative Cloud kind of thing, does that mean you have to be online the whole time if you want to use it? The good thing is no, you don't have to be online. What it does, you have to download it initially to be able to use it. And then from there it's a case of you just need to renew your license every 3 months, it says. So if you download it and you put it onto your computer, you can be on a train, in a car, somewhere else, and you can still be doing your Photoshop and your Lightroom editing to your photos with no problem whatsoever. However, once it gets up to, I think it's about 90 or a little bit more days, then that's when you'll get a big warning saying, hello, please renew your subscription. I'm sure somebody will find a hack for that though. I'm sure there will be a hack. The other good thing to know is that the Adobe Photoshop CS6 is going to be continuously sold as an actual thing that you can buy and you can use at any time. So that means you can still have what is considered to be one of the most amazing photo editing softwares in the world and is considered an industry leading standard. So don't think, oh, because I don't have CS Future Edition, CS Creative Cloud, that you're not going to be able to somehow edit photos to a standard which isn't already billboard, multi-million pound advertising campaign level of quality. No. All the photos that you see in big billboards and sides of buses, in films and all that kind of stuff, pretty much the software that's out there at the moment which you can buy as an actual disc. So this comes a real kind of balancing act of what is most valuable or what is the most cost effective for you, and it'll be different for every single person. Whether you are using Photoshop and Lightroom all the time and you're a working pro, then it'd be like, no problem, get it. But at the same time, if you've already got CS6 and the latest Lightroom, do you really need to upgrade to something which you'll already be paying? There is actually a discount if you're already a Creative Suite user. If you go from being a Creative Suite, which is the actual physical disc thing, to a Creative Cloud user, there is a discount. Instead of the £50 roughly per month charge, I think it's taken down to about a £30 charge for you to be upgrading to the Creative Cloud. If, however, you're just a guy that likes to take some photos and maybe do a bit of editing, then I would just say get Adobe Lightroom 4 or 5, or whichever one's coming out, the most latest one that you're getting while you're watching this video. Because pretty much with photography, it's all Lightroom based now. And if you want to do any kind of minor tweaks which are out with the Lightroom capabilities, there's lots of other softwares which are out there which could probably do exactly what you're wanting to do. For example, GIMP. I do lots of stuff on GIMP. GIMP is like a freeware photo editing software. It looks a little bit like Photoshop. Obviously not as powerful, but at the same time completely free, and you never have to pay for it. And it works both Mac and for PC, and you don't need to worry about anything. Is it likely that the average user is going to fork out this 20 quid a month? That's just something which you're going to have to see where the market goes. For me, personally, no, because I already have the equipment and the tools which I'm going to be using. But like for my camera, I've got a most amazing camera in the whole entire world. I never need to upgrade it until it breaks. Same with my Lightroom and my Photoshop that I've got, and my GIMP, and my GIMP software, that I don't really ever think I need to upgrade just for the sake of upgrading, and especially in the case where upgrading now puts me into a contract. The bummer thing is, owning Creative Suite 6, you owned that, you had that. So if you gave up photography for 5 years and then came back to your computer, you just turned on your computer, you can stick that CD in and boom, you've got that software straight away. With the Creative Cloud, if you kind of go, I'm going on holiday for a year, I'm not going to be doing any photography, and you're like, damn, I've paid for a year's subscription, bugger. And also then when you come back, you can't go, oh, just open up my files in Photoshop. No, I need to renew that subscription again. So it depends on how much you're using photography, how much you actually use the editing afterwards as well. Also, if you are a person that uses all this stuff, like you are making websites, you are making books, you are making videos and adverts, and you are effectively a team of people, then you will think that paying 50 quid a month is nothing, and it'll be an absolute like score getting that. But again, are you going to bother doing that when you've already got software? Because if you've already got the software, I don't really see much reason for upgrading. Yes, there may be tools that are coming out in the future stuff which might be super duper, but at the moment all the software that's out there is so damn good and industry standard level that there's not really much need to upgrade to something which is going to restrain you into a contract. So my advice at the moment is don't really rush into it unless you have suddenly lost all your computers, lost all your software, and there's an insurance payout coming straight to you. Then yes, unless you're doing all that, that's what I'm saying. Don't bother going onto this Creative Suite at the moment. I'm saying this in May 2013, so whenever you're watching this video, there may be something completely different going on. What I would say is wait until everybody else is using it, because there will be constant upgrades coming along all the time. At the moment, maybe £50 is a little bit steep, maybe it's not, but at the same time it is incredibly steep whenever you can get software which is either free, or if you already own software which is considered to be industry leading and the standard. So I would say don't bother going with it at the moment, but at the same time don't be totally butthurt about it, because at the same time it is actually a good possibility. If somebody wants to get into it and go, I want to use everything, I want to have a month of trying it out. Instead of having to buy the stuff, you can effectively just rent it out for a month, maybe 2 months or 3 months. Instead of that normal 30-day only trial and then it's gone, here you can try it out for as long as you want and give it up whenever you want. The only bummer is at the end you don't get to own the software afterwards. So if you ever want to use something further in the future, you're still going to be forking out cash for a software which you never own. So I would say always have a backup of everything in some form of format which you can use if you don't have your subscription upgraded or updated with the current service. So that's just my little advice. Hope that helps. Cheers, bye bye.